Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 7, Yappin, Jabberin, and Ramblin. Drew is in the middle of dinner right now. And I'm okay with it. It's been a while since we've done this, so do what you gotta do, brother man.
It's 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm making the choice to eat after this, but it's Mexican Monday in the Phillips household tonight instead of Taco Tuesday.
Last time I ate was 12 o'clock. This is 13 and a half.
There you go. We're not professionals around here, so I don't think it matters a whole bunch.
I'm saying professional.
They kind of have to, though. So you do what you got to do.
Right. Like when Samantha was like, yeah, these guys, like the record for streaming is like, I don't know, some crazy, like 72 hours. So there's no way you can even stay up for that long. That's just a shit ton of caffeine. She's like, no, like they sleep on stream. They pull up like a cot and just sleep in that. I'm like, and people watch this stuff?
It's just dude sleeping. Solid 2 hours going strong. But
well, could you imagine being the moderator that pulled that shift? Yeah, what shift do you got? 4 a.m. to 8.
what are we doing? What's going on?
Bro,
he's
don't
still
you have
sleeping.
a day job? Yeah.
This is my side hustle. So
sorry, derailed the combo.
No, we're good. First topic we have. You posed the question: is there any film franchise that makes good movies after they complete a trilogy? Excluding book movies based on books. So like no Harry Potter. All the Harry Potter movies are bangers. So we're not counting that. I mean, Fast and Furious, I'll give them 5 movies. Fast 5. Some people hate it. I enjoy the whole heist aspect of it. I'm just a fan of heist movies in general, so that may have something to do with it. But the last 6 and 7 weren't terrible. They weren't great.
7 was when Paul Walker exited, yeah.
Correct. And I have not seen one. I have not seen one since then.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard that it's the same old. Like, you're running out of stuff to do, man.
Well, like, continue your point. Who's asking for Toy Story 5? Who's asking for Ice Age 6 or whatever they're on? Who's asking for Transformers, whatever number they're on? Who's asking for... Oh, don't even get me started on all the X-Men movies. That's just a dumpster fire by itself.
Okay, I will play devil's advocate to your X-Men. They had 2 trilogies, even though the second one was 4 movies, I believe. We're going to talk about specifically about X-Men. The first X-Men, like X-Men and X2, were good. The Last Stand, not good.
I'm in the process. Well, my wife and I are in the process of. So, we watched the Deadpool movies in preparation for Deadpool Wolverine, and then she was like, "Well, I don't know that much about Wolverine." I was like, heard.
Neither does he.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we can watch X-Men Origins, The Wolverine, and Logan, and we'll be okay.
Okay. That's fair.
But she's like, no, I think we need to watch X-Men because he's in those too, right? I was like, yes, he's in those.
He's not the.
However,
he is the main character, but not the main. Does that make sense?
No,
he's
yeah.
He's a main character.
He is the main character in which the story flows through, but he is not the main character of the story.
Correct. The main character of the stories are the X-Men as a whole.
So far, it's Rogue.
Did y'all pause it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we know how much you hate that. well documented in episode 1. Go back and listen to it if you haven't. What are some more? Like a lot of them do end at the trilogy. Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean, that was another one. So the first 3, all amazing movies. The 4th one, I will die on this hill. Not a bad movie, a good movie actually. Did they need to make it? No, but I enjoyed that one. And then the 5th one was not.
Because it's been released as 3 separate trilogies. I mean, obviously there's a spin-off, but
So I will say no, because they were released in trilogies, and the trilogies don't go in order. It goes the originals, the prequels, the sequels. Yeah. The Avengers movies. I mean, a lot of them. Are there any of them that have more than 3?
Thor.
Ah, you're right. Thor does. He's in there. He's the only one. I mean, I'm counting Infinity War and Endgame as one movie, quote unquote. One and a half. You want to throw them in there with Thor Ragnarok?
Well, technically, the Hulk has 2.5.
Are you talking about the one like early 2000s or like late 90s, whatever it was? I don't count.
2003 or whatever it was. Hawkeye doesn't have a movie. So those are all the main Avengers. And then Scarlet Witch doesn't have a movie yet.
Is she getting one?
The Guardians, I think she's going.
Guardians have 3.
The Guardians have 3.
Guardians is probably the best overall trilogy.
Yes, I agree.
Captain America's probably second.
I mean, Iron Man kind of falls off. Captain America, I would agree, is probably second.
Thor 1 is fine. Thor 2
Thor 1
bad.
is okay. Thor 2 is pretty bad. Thor 3 is fucking awesome. And then Thor 4 is pretty bad.
Yeah. I had a point and I lost it. Shoot. Oh well. It'll come back to me. Maybe.
We are, just to be sure, since we're on the top of the super, we are not considering like all the different iterations of Batman.
No. Each actor has their own, like, I'm considering a franchise. So, like, Christian Bale has 3. Keaton had 2 or 3. At least 2. No. George Clooney only had 1. I think Val Kilmer only had 1. Adam West had a TV show and a movie. That movie is actually not bad. Like, it's campy. Like, it's 60s Batman movie. Like, if you watch it with the mindset of, like, this is a movie based off a TV show in the 60s, it's exactly what you expect. Now, the ending is a little weird, but Taken only has 3. Godfather only has 3.
Godzilla.
Bunch of the horror movies. Oh, Mission Impossible. Wow. Mission Impossible. Okay, I would say Mission Impossible has more than 3 good movies.
James Bond. Halloween, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Spider-Man should not be on this list.
No, because
they're all trilogies. Well, except for my boy
Andrew
Garfield.
All right, I mean, he's not dead. Movie. He's not dead. His third movie got killed.
His Spider-Man is dead. He's not dead.
He's not coming back from movie.
The Lord of the Rings.
Purgatory.
But that's also based on a book.
No, yeah, back to Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible. How many of those have you seen? All of them? Most of them? Any of them? I have not seen the most recent one, but all of those they're all good movies.
I've seen the first.
The first four. My favorite one is probably Ghost Protocol, which is the fourth one. That one's got Jeremy Renner in it. That one's good.
Oh. But also, I don't think Halloween movies really.
Yeah, horror movies kind of their own subgenre. Because that's like one of the things. Have you seen any of the Scream movies? Okay, I've seen through four. I've seen through four.
Just kidding. I watched the trilogy.
No.
I watched them last year.
Gotcha.
Can't tell you the plot of many.
Anyways, so I like Scream because it's also it's meta-ish. It's not like a parody.
But it's making...
Correct. Like they always mention. Yeah, Die Hard's only got 3 good ones.
Rocky is a great franchise. Once you get through, my personal cutoff is Rocky 5.
I haven't seen 5. I've heard not to watch 5.
Valid. 4, if you stop after 4, good for you. Oh, American Pie. But like 4, it's a spoof movie.
What do you think's the worst Rocky?
I have not seen anything past 5, so I am obligated to say 5.
Okay, out of the first 4. 2, probably. It's either 2 or 3.
Probably. It's definitely not 1. It's definitely
not 4. No, those are the best.
Probably 2, because at least 3 has the training montage with Apollo Creed and Rocky training together.
Mm-hmm. And 3, it's a different boxer that he's fighting.
It's a different villain.
Yes.
Clubber Lang, a.k.a.
Yes.
Mr. T. Saw. Lampoons is technically a franchise.
Yeah, but they're all...
It's not linear.
They're all like in and of themselves.
Their own movies.
Correct. Yeah, it's the same characters, but I mean the only 3 people that stayed the same throughout the entire ones, I'm pretty sure. I've seen Christmas, Clark. I've seen Vacation, and I've seen Vegas. Yeah,
Clark. You haven't seen European? Clark,
Cousin Eddie,
Ellen, and Cousin Eddie. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Aliens, Alien vs Predator. Damn, this list is long. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park should have... Honestly, none of them compare to the first one.
No, they don't. The first one of both trilogies, again, they do the same thing. It's the trilogy. They had 2 trilogies. The first one of both trilogies is by far and away the best one. I haven't seen Dominion or whatever the last one was.
But I would still say, I would argue Jurassic World still is.
Oh, no. Not at all.
Just because Jurassic Park was an original idea.
No, not at all. And again, it does that thing where it's playing on your nostalgia.
Correct. I mean, Chris Pratt and
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Thank you. I was like, I know it's a triple name. I know they had to Photoshop or Badonkadonk.
Yep. Out of the, CGI that thing out of there.
They did us all a disservice.
I was shocked. Just tangent off this real quick. I was shocked, because that was the first thing I saw her in, and I was like, "Oh, right. Skinny redhead." And then I saw her in real life, and I was not real life. I didn't see her with my own eyes, but
you were like, "Damn, she gained some weight."
I did. I was like, "Is she pregnant?" Not in a bad sense, but
Right. You trust me, the weight went to the right spots if she did gain weight. No, they just photoshopped her down, which I don't really understand why.
Maybe that's the vision they have for the character, and she just nailed the audition. They're she play the character is her frame is not what we were envisioning.
Yeah, well,
okay. I mean, I guess to be fair, when you think of a
corporate
uptight
redhead.
girl boss.
Yeah.
You don't think of voluptuous. You think petite.
All right, moving on before we get in trouble with our wives.
Hey now.
Jaws.
I've only seen the first one,
I've
but
only
like,
seen the.
I haven't seen it in its entirety, if that makes sense. I've seen like all the parts of it, but never like all at once.
So Austin Powers is also on this list. However,
I think they only had 3.
I think there might be 4.
I haven't seen the
I'm
full
not
4.
100% sure.
Also, Powers,
Actually,
great movies. Great movies.
I mean, but yeah, they're also spoofs. So hold on. Goldmember, The Spy Who Shagged Me, The International Man of Mystery.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it.
Scary Movie has like more than they
1,000.
need.
Yeah.
I've seen the first 3, and the first 2 were the best ones because that's the ones that the Wayans brothers did. After that, they dropped them.
And there's a lot of Pokemon movies.
Don't count that.
No. Yeah, this list definitely includes trilogies. So if there's anything I've said so far that is a trilogy that we are critiquing as more than a trilogy, I apologize. On a tangent, Back to the Future is my personal favorite trilogy of all time. I will die on that hill.
Mine might be Christopher Nolan's Batman. It's definitely up there.
I mean, that's a very good trilogy. I'm not gonna argue. It's personal preference. But yeah, Ice Age, they are at least on the 5th Ice Age. Don't worry, I love Shrek. I do. I'm pretty sure they're working on their 5th Shrek.
They are.
This is not necessary. Who's asking for this shit? Respectfully.
Okay, the first 2 are the ones I've seen multiple times. The third one is the one where they're trying to find Arthur. Is that right?
So yes, the first 2 obviously classics. Most people have seen those. The third one is where they're trying to find Arthur,
and then the fourth one is Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Okay.
And then you've got Matrix.
I've only seen the first one. I've heard 2 and 3 aren't worth watching. And then the new one.
Yeah, Reloaded.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't realize how many The Land Before Times there are.
I only know like the original.
Dude,
it's been a while.
There's 11 of them.
Were they all like straight to VHS? They had to be.
It's not on this list. The Karate Kid. There are 4 of those. The original Karate Kid.
I've only seen the first one.
There's the Karate Kid that everybody's familiar with, where Daniel moves to LA. There's the Karate Kid Part 2, where they go to Japan. Not Japan, Okinawa. So.
That's in Japan.
Is it in Japan? Sorry.
Mongol was born in Okinawa.
And then the third one, they come back to the U.S. and Daniel fights with Mr. Miyagi and starts being trained by John Creasy.
Interesting.
Owner of Dojo. Antagonist person.
Cobra Kai.
Thank you. And then the next Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi is the only recurring character.
That's weird. And then there was the reboot with Jaden Smith.
Yes.
That one was weird.
Of course, we finally made it part of the list where Fast and Furious and Transformers.
Okay, hold on. How many good Transformers movies? The first one. What's the order of the Transformers movies? I always get them confused.
Probably 1, 2,
3. All right. The names of the movies.
Transformers. Dark? No, hold on.
I think Dark of the Moon is
Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, and then Dark of the Moon.
And then Age of Extinction.
I guess.
And then The Last Night, and then whatever the new ones are.
Bumblebee.
The way you said Bumblebee reminded me of the YouTube video that Harry Potter and the puppets.
Oh, Ron,
Dumbledore.
Ron, Weasley.
Oh,
Men in Black is also a solid trilogy. The third one, in my opinion, does take a deep dive. However, it's solid.
the deep. What do you mean deep?
Like, off a cliff.
Oh yes. Still not a
But
bad movie.
it's solid. It's just not Men in Black 1 and 2.
Mm-mm.
Apparently, when 2 came out, it was not well received.
I could see that at the time. If they made it a little bit.
I could see it at the
They
time.
made it a little campier.
Could you define campy for me?
Like purposefully bad or like playing on itself.
Ooh.
I mean, Bismarck, you just
Scriptwriters.
beatbox, dog.
Yeah, that's valid. They just say Agent J,
Beatbox.
guy in printer. No, that was the smoking dude with
Post
8
office.
arms. Guy in post office, played by beatbox in response. Take off face.
I mean, to be fair, Johnny Knoxville. I think Johnny Knoxville just gives it some lack of oomph. He's not a great actor, just like acting skills alone. I mean, I think he's hilarious in Dukes of Hazzard. That's a terrible movie, but I still love that movie.
Dukes of Hazzard. Dukes of Hazzard is a state icon. Simply because they say go dogs.
Did a great state out, Georgia. Go Dogs!
Go dogs! Ah! Have you ever seen A Knight's Tale?
Yo, yeah,
Heath Ledger?
I love that movie.
Okay, I'm just making sure. It's the savior of Italian virginity, Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein.
I know what.
No,
Pain.
hold on. Yeah.
Your entrails will become your extrails. I will. Pain.
Dogging. Lots of pain. We will take it from his flesh to remind him gambling
is a sin.
is a sin.
Yet they were gambling as well.
That's.
I know.
You know that movie's based on the Canterbury Tales?
I can see it. I enjoy that movie.
It's a great movie. I might watch it tonight. Grace is at a freaking church ladies dinner party.
Fun.
The theme is brunch. They're wearing pajamas.
Ah. How cute.
This is her first one. Her and her friend Grace met here and then drove over.
Very nice.
And yes, they are partially friends because both are named.
That's kind of how it goes. That's why you have like 4 friends named Drew.
It's an easy icebreaker.
Which name's Drew? Oh, I'm in Terry School of Business.
Next guy goes. Yeah, name's Drew. Terry School of Business. Accounting. No, bro, me too.
Oh,
2
God.
people later. Yeah, what's up? Name's Drew. Till school accounting. Not in a fraternity.
Terry is its own fraternity. All right.
It is. However, there are still a lot of people in Terry and Toll that are still in fraternity.
My brother is a business major in a fraternity, albeit at a private Christian school, but
the
still.
other dogs.
All right, moving on. Next topic.
Yeah. I think I'm running out of what is it when it's more than a trilogy? Franchise?
Yeah.
A quintology? Sure. A quorology?
Quartet?
A sextology?
Hey now. Sports are hell.
Yeah, beer.
No,
Sports.
sports are hell because we willingly root for a team that we know will cause us pain when they lose.
Oh.
Like,
Well, the good thing is they're never losing again. So obviously,
right.
we're going to be Irie.
Now it's different for me. Braves versus Dogs versus Niners. Like Niners or Dogs lose more so the Dogs. But like my football team loses, my week is off. Baseball, I do my best to not ride the roller coaster of every game. Now, like you lose a few in a row, yeah, then it sucks. But like one loss, most of the time is not going to kill me in the regular season. But with football, a loss ruins my whole week. Like I don't check social media as much over that next week. I don't keep up with my team that much that week. I'm like, you hurt me. Why should I give you my interest? And then Friday night I'm back. I'm like, we're back, baby. We're doing this again. Exactly. But
I hear what you're saying. I genuinely do. And I think that we need to ride the wave of Jordan. And also need to remain mindful of where we came from in an effort to not become the Alabama fan base. Because I think we're still at a good level right now where do we expect to win on Saturday? Yes.
Yep.
We expect to win. However, there's that little voice in the back of our head that says 1980.
Remember all these times?
Y'all sucked for so many years. You could lose to Missouri. You could lose to South Carolina. God forbid you lose to fucking Sunbelt Billy. You know? Just like, there's that little voice that's like, oh, God. Guys, we may not be that good. Like, I think we're like minus 350 to make the national championship or some. Like, I think stupid. We're minus 350 to make the playoff. Make the playoff, not the national championship.
I was about to say, I was like, wow.
But we're definitely the favorite to win the Natty this year, and it's. Please hold. They have this ability now.
Yeah, legally, yeah.
Legally. You know what? I don't like your job.
Okay, sorry, not legally. From a U.S. sports book, not an offshore sports book. Anyways, I mean, I think there's something that like sports fans like about the attachment. Obviously, like win or lose, like that's your team.
Yep.
I guess my question for those who don't watch sports is like, what like we feel like sports are like giving us the reason to stress. So like, what do people who don't watch sports stress about? That's not like their job or their life, like their entertainment vessel.
Also, feel like another thing we're not taking into is the gambling, because then not only are you emotionally invested, you are financially invested.
That's true.
Now, me personally, I do not bet on the Dogs ever.
Because the last time you did that, come to Jesus meeting.
I had yes. Really, when your walk with Christ really just take off? There I was, 2021,
watching the TV.
I wasn't watching; I was pacing.
This was 22.
22.
It was 22. Yeah, that was how we won that game. I don't know. Our defense did what defenses do. But yeah, I got to the point.
We scored 14 points in the fourth quarter.
We did do that.
They scored 3.
That was one of those games where like I stopped drinking. I was like,
That's that was one of those games where I stopped drinking. That's good.
I mean, then I drank afterwards, the celebration, obviously.
Right.
But then, like,
I was at my grandparents' house, so like, love them to death, but there's a serious lack of alcohol in the house.
that was one of those. I was like, this does not have the vibe of a game I should be drinking right now, even if it is to cope. Like, this just does not feel that way. But no, I mean, again, I guess that was my other thing, was just like those who are invested in sports. Like, if you're a cinephile and like all you do is care about movies, like not to say that like we aren't, like we obviously love movies, but like movies are your thing, like your one source of entertainment, your main source of entertainment. Like, what do you get stressed about? Like, there's nothing stressful about that. Does that make sense? Like, you're not watching a movie and being like, oh my god, this is going to impact my week. That happens with sports.
Well, I don't think that we get into loving sports or gambling.
No, not for
stress.
gambling. Aside from take the gambling aspect.
Okay. I don't think we get into sports for the stress. I think we get into sports, like even as kids, it's like, oh, sports are fun. I like playing sports, and these guys are the best at what they do. So obviously, I'm going to watch them. I don't know.
Like you
ever think about that? Like, why did I get into playing football? Like, why did I start watching football?
I mean, the reason I got into baseball, my dad signed me up. I was 5.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, why'd you start watching it?
Because your parents watch it.
Right. Exactly.
Well, again, like, I guess when you start at a young age, you don't know it causes you stress, but then like you just kind of get used to it. I guess like when you're 5, you're not stressed about much. You're stressed about like my toy broke.
Right. Or damn, I gotta poop.
Yeah. But like you stick with it. Like after you find out they cause you stress, you still stick with it.
Newsflash: 20 years later, my toy broke. Damn, I gotta poop.
Pretty much. It's still the same, just different.
But yeah, toys. I mean, I also think there's also a little bit of difference, like being an alumni of a school and supporting the athletic program. Albeit, am I over here watching gymnastics every Friday night when I know it's on? No. Sorry, ladies. Sure, y'all are doing amazing. Come y'all's season, but it's just not my thing. When I was on campus, I loved sport though, but I'm solid 4.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I get that aspect, especially when you're on campus. Like having that, like I went here, I'm going to root for those teams. Like you stick to the big ones, football.
Yeah, but like
basketball.
The Falcons, right? Like I didn't go to Falcons Community College or whatever. Like I didn't like. Why am I a Falcons fan? It's basic. It's solely based off of geography.
Mm-hmm. That is one thing.
But like,
go ahead. No, finish.
I was going to say, but I am also less emotionally invested in the Falcons.
That's fair.
It's a combination of they've been kind of mid outside of 1 or 2 seasons my entire life,
mm-hmm.
and 2, I didn't go to school at Falcons University.
Right. I mean, I get another thing I don't understand is like how people don't root for the teams where they grew up in, if that makes sense. Now, shut up. It's different because my father liked them, so he passed it on. Like I didn't just like choose the Niners. The Niners, all right. I didn't just choose the Niners. From? Kennesaw, all right.
Where's Kennesaw? For those who don't know,
Georgia, Metro Atlanta.
Roughly 45 minutes from Boost Stadium.
The Falcons, all right.
Yes,
but
where was your dad born? Like, is he from San Francisco? Like, is he from California?
Okay. I do know why my My dad was born in Fort Lauderdale, moved up here when he was in elementary school. Wasn't old enough to care about the Dolphins. Falcons were not good. Niners always on TV. 74. So, like, back then I get it because, like, sports on TV was, like, only the primetime games, pretty much. And the Niners being very good, they were always on TV. So I get that. But, like, in today's day and age where you can see whatever, any team you want.
Well, with the price.
For the price. I do know that, like, it is changing now. Like, even from, like, our generation to, like, this generation that's, 10, 15 years younger than us. They're following players more so than teams. Like, even, I mean, I'm sure you know people like this. I knew people who were, like, Tom Brady fans. So, like, when he went from the Patriots to the Bucs, they're like, I'm a Bucs fan now. They say I'm a Tom Brady fan. But what are you doing? The mustache.
Yeah. So I had to listen to what I was saying because I looked like a grown man.
What are you?
Here's what I was saying.
Step 1, play video games.
Yep.
Step 2, I'm not really sure what step 2 is. Step 3, profit.
Step 2, play more video games.
That's sound logic.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Right. But, okay. In addition to sports, we're adding a segment, the Fantasy 5, where we're just going to check in on our fantasy teams throughout the season. So this one may be a little bit longer than 5 minutes, just so we can kind of get some background on our teams. So moving forward, just kind of be a recap of what's going on.
Oh, we're doing this right now. So,
yes.
I can go first.
Go for it.
I only have one.
Wow.
It's the Dynasty League that I'm in.
I, too, am in a Dynasty League. I'm in a Dynasty League and a regular Fantasy Football League. We have not drafted for the regular Fantasy Football League yet.
So for the past 2 seasons, I have missed the playoffs by 1 game.
Tough.
The top 6 teams making the playoffs. Your boy's been number 7 2 years in a row. So the team name is now Leggett to the playoffs.
All right.
Yeah. So, and my profile picture is
Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicklaus is a golfer. Jack Nicholson is the actor.
Jack. If you really want to cover your bases, Jack Nicholson.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Him too. Anyway, the actor from The Shining. So yeah, we're hungry. We're coming out with blood. So this is a super flex league. So we're gonna run down the starting lineup as it stands. We got Mahomes, QB1, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Debo, DK, Xavier, Travis Kelce. At the moment, my flex 1 is James Cook. And I have a second flex who is currently Mike Williams. That's almost guaranteed to get shaken up after I actually set my roster. And then my super flex is CJ Stroud, who, might I say, best draft pick I have ever had.
Yep. Pretty solid.
Because he fell to no, not the best draft pick I ever had, the best fantasy trade I have ever made.
There you go.
Because I think I was so, like I said, I finished middle of the pack. I got a middle of the pack draft pick. I traded away my first round pick this year and someone else to move up to the 4 spot, and I picked up CJ Stroud. And anyway, so just wanted to say that. And then on the bench, we got Spencer Rattler, Malik Willis. I'll be honest, I don't even know why he's still on my team. but I have the bench spots, so why not?
Just go through like your rotational pieces. Don't go through like your fifth quarterback.
Will Shipley, Miles Sanders, Keontae Ingram, Ty Chandler, Cedric Tillman, Jalen McMillan, DJ Chark, Jacoby Myers, Terrace Marshall, David Bell, Sky Moore, Keyshawn Butte, Logan Thomas, Tyler Higbee, Isaiah Likely, Greg Dulcich, and Chaz Okinawa, the former, I don't know. Listen, the man with the very long name who plays tight end for the Titans.
There you go. All right. My Dynasty League, also a super flex. It is also weird for the first time not playing with kickers or defenses.
Correct.
But I will still get that in my regular league. Anyways, Stafford, McCaffrey, Gus Edwards, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Tank Dell, Travis Kelce, Xavier Legette, Romeo Dubs, and J Herb round out my starting lineup.
J Herbo?
Yeah.
Very.
I traded ETN and my first rounder next year for Herbert. Because when I drafted this, the only way I know how to draft, I didn't do any research. The only way I know how to draft is like win now.
Well, because like,
Okay, this is my first year, so like I want to win like now, and then I can think about the future.
well, I remember I live streamed this stuff. This was also the season after he signed his like mega deal, where the Chiefs were like, "Hey, you're going to be our quarterback until you retire." And I was like, "Oh well, I've got to go to Holmes."
Yeah.
Signed the deal. Chiefs are a monster. They're going to surround him with weapons. But we'll see.
Well, Rashee Rice is doing him no favors.
No, he's not. He's not. And I was like, I got to take him one overall, right?
Mhm.
And I guess Roe was in the chat, and he's like, I'm not paying attention to the chat. He's like, I swear to God, if you take a quarterback number one overall, I'm going to kill you. He calls me. I was like, dude, I'm recording or I'm streaming. He's like, yeah, I know. You're an idiot. I was like, you realize this is a dynasty league, right? He's like, yeah, you're still an idiot. I'm like, no. I have it on good authority that if I don't take Mahomes right now, the best quarterback I'm going to get when it comes back around to my turn, who knows? Because like 8 quarterbacks went in the first round.
Yeah, so I was the 7th pick, and I was the first non-quarterback to pick. Or I was the first to pick CeeDee Lamb.
Sorry. I mean,
the reason Justin Jefferson's probably going to prove me wrong this year, but I was like, at the time, I was like, with McCarthy and Darnold, I was like, yeah. Where I was like, CeeDee Lamb's going to ball out because he's been balling out. Oh, and then my 2 major bench pieces. Nick Chubb, but he's probably not going to start the season, so he's on my bench. My team name is I Have a Chubby. And then Brock Bowers was my first overall in the rookie draft. So we did 2 separate drafts. We did a vets draft, and then we did a rookie draft. Yep. Correct.
It doesn't take long at all. You're done in like, I guess it depends on how.
That was one thing that kept happening. Like for both drafts, like the commissioner was like, "All right, you got 5." We started at like 24 hours, then like 12 hours with like pausing it, and then I think it was like 8, and then 4, and then we were just like, "All right, you at this point just pick." Mm-hmm. I don't care what you're doing. I mean, at this point, you're either auto drafting or you're picking the best guy anyway. So, and then my fantasy, whenever we draft for my regular league, I'll update y'all on that one. But and then I have a rant to close this out. You ranted a lot last time, so it's my turn. You did rant a lot last time, all right?
What?
Yes. I was talking about this with some of my fantasy buddies. ESPN has gone downhill from the time we were in, elementary, middle school. Sports Center back in those days before school was banging. And then the only time I watch ESPN or really any sports content live is live sports. Or I think the only exception is College Game Day. I don't watch.
I'm sorry. Is this supposed to be a monologue, or do you want me to?
I was, if you have something, throw it in there. But for the most part, it's me.
I was going to say, even College Game Day is also on a huge.
That as well. But the big thing for me is like SportsCenter's not the same as it was. Like, I don't watch First Take. I don't watch Undisputed, which that's RIP that show. I don't watch Get Up. A little bit ish, kind of maybe, but like I won't do now because I'll be working in the morning. So that's one thing I was going to get to is that like podcasts now are so niche and it's easier to listen to while you're doing, while you're in the car, while you're working out, while you're working, whatever. It's so much easier and it's more tailored to what you want to hear as opposed to covering everything in sports. There's so many UGA podcasts, there's so many Brave podcasts, Niners, insert your team here. There's a podcast for it. So it's just more tailored to what you want to hear. Now, like, I still do like knowing like the general goings on in the sports, but I think it changed when ESPN went away from covering every sport, in the mornings to we're going to cover the big stuff. We're going to cover LeBron. We're going to cover the Cowboys. We're going to cover, I guess pretty much the entire NFC East. We're going to cover baseball every now and then when something happens instead of like keeping up with the major players. Like, they don't keep up with baseball other than like when something happens in a specific game or series. Shohei may be the only exception. Shohei and Aaron Judge may be the only exceptions. But even then, they're below LeBron, the Lakers, whatever else. Yeah, it is. Now, the thing I will say that I think part of the reason that ESPN kind of dish baseball is because MLB Network does it better, understandably so. And they know that the general public isn't as big as baseball as I am. Like, the people who want baseball will go to MLB Network and get their baseball fix. So I understand that ish, but I'm also like, you're the worldwide leader in sports. Cover everything. Don't cover the same stuff every day. Like, dude, the summer is the worst time for ESPN, especially shows like First Take, because it's all like from the time the NBA finals end until now, when like football preseason is going in, they are struggling because they're not going to talk about baseball. They're going to talk about where the big free agents are signing in football. But even like then, just like the first day or two of that, and then it kind of slows down. Same thing with basketball. So it's like, where's LeBron going? And it's like just like random rankings. They don't talk about college football in the off season, like especially shows like First Take. Like Stephen A. knows he hates the Cowboys, and he'll talk the NBA like that. Like, he's good at those two things, but like whenever he tries to talk about something else, I'm like, I know get you have to have an opinion. You work for ESPN, but like his baseball takes are horrendous. And another thing, last thing before I'll let you have your spiel. They know that everything that's good is going to get clipped and put on social media, where our generation will see it. Because I told my fantasy buddies, I was like, the only place that like ESPN is on all day is like